Welcome, sentient beings from all known universes and beyond. It's time to activate your cranial downlinks and prepare to receive a raft of discussion on a cosmic ocean of science fiction and fantasy topics, interviews with local area genre devotees, and insightful prognostication by our soothsayers of science fiction, our forecasters of fantasy, and any other beings that happen to get caught in our gravity well. This is the Galactic Driftwood Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Galactic Driftwood. I'm Bill.
I'm Jenna.
I'm Charles.
I'm John.
And I'm Seth.
And this episode, we're going to be talking about upcoming cons that we're excited about getting ready to attend, some of the preparations that we're putting into it, and some of the cosplays that we're planning to do while we're there. The big one that's coming up really soon is Planet Comicon down in Kansas City, of which we're going to. And I guess, what are you guys looking forward to at that con?
Oh, I'm just really looking forward to being among my people, the nerds.
I have never been to a con that big, so I don't know what to expect. But
it's a big one.
Yeah, but I'm expecting to be wide-eyed with wonder for a good portion
And thankfully it's well organized. For the most part, please don't prove me wrong, whoever's running it this year.
Well, it's the 20th year, isn't it? So
right.
Yeah.
They should have this down, I think.
Denver, don't want to bash any cons. I've just heard Denver is not as fluid to get through as other cons. That depending on who organizes it and how, no matter how many times they've ran it. Like, it's really important that a well-run con be fluid, well-organized, so it's easy to find the things to get where you need to, and not every group who assembles these things are good at that.
But I was on the board, the planning board for Ozfest, if you remember that one, and it's like, they were like, it was like monkeys typing Shakespeare. It was just crazy. It's like, it wasn't working.
Now,
it works, but
for those
I don't
of
know
us
how,
that are attending, I think, you're not going,
I don't
Charles?
think I'm going to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for the rest of us, are you just planning to purchase, or we've already purchased our tickets, but are you just going to the 3-day con, or are you actually buying autograph sessions, or are you planning to meet some of the folks there?
Katie and I are not really about the whole autograph thing.
Yeah.
So, paying $80 for 5 minutes or less, I don't know how long you actually get with X celebrity, doesn't really appeal to me.
Right.
On the other hand, Brandon Sanderson is going to be there, one of my very favorite authors, and I'm at the very least going to get a book signed by him.
Now, what does he write?
He writes epic fantasy and some sci-fi, and he writes entirely too much is what he writes. He comes out with 2 or 3 huge books a year, and I'm both envious and hate him while I admire him. But yeah, so actually I doubt I will get a chance to actually talk with him much or any. But I did get a chance to talk with him at Constellation quite a number of years ago, and that actually got me back into writing. So seeing him again will be a thing for me.
I think you might be surprised, too, what can happen. And that's kind of what's nice about staying in the primary hotel, like all of us have gotten rooms, is because you never know what opportunities may present themselves if you're feeling bold. Mm-hmm. Liquid courage bold.
That describes me, bold.
I know. Well, you get bold when you're among your people, like I said. So my first time going to Planet, I ended up in like a 20-30 minute conversation at a table with Edward James Olmos.
Ooh.
So, and we got to talking about being Hispanic in Hollywood in the hotel lobby, because he had done his panel earlier that day, and I said, hey, I'm really sorry to bother you. I had this one question, being Hispanic myself. How is that for you? How did you push through? Because you were in L.A., in Hollywood, you're a Mexican-American man, and you probably saw and had to experience a lot of typecasting, and you had to resist a lot of different things. So we got into this whole conversation, and the next day when I went to have my autograph signed by him, it was so much more personal.
Oh, that's cool.
Did he explain why the ending of Battlestar Galactica sucked? Because I'm curious about that. I would like to know what he thought about the lame, we found humans on the other side of the universe that look just like us. And, like, okay, but yeah.
No, we
No?
were more focused on other topics.
Well,
Yeah.
everyone has their priorities, I guess. Okay.
And now we know John's.
Yes, we
But-
do.
So
Yeah,
John,
Oh, and Manu Bennett bought me a drink,
Ooh.
which was nice.
But
Wait.
yeah,
Which, if you don't know, he was Crixus from Spartacus, and he's done a lot of other characters from Chronicles of Shannara to some of the DC universe.
so you're not doing any specific interview sessions, though, or autograph sessions? You're not buying any of those?
This time, unless somebody else just pops out, no. But the panels themselves are incredibly interesting. Like when Ron Perlman did his panel, the last Planet Comicon I went to, it was hilarious. He's like, "Hey, is there any kids here? Don't want to watch the language. Well, never mind. Fuck it. I guess they're gonna learn how to swear from Uncle Ron today."
I went to Phoenix Comic-Con some years ago and got to meet quite a few authors there. I got to meet Chuck Wendig, Michael Stackpole. I lost my old Kindle that had all my signatures from there, but John Scalzi. It's a great place like lots of authors show up, so I've got some high hopes.
And artists maybe
Artists?
you've never
Oh,
thought
yeah.
about before.
Yeah.
That's what I've loved. I've gotten to know some artists personally through it that do some amazing work that are up and coming or pretty well established.
Yeah. John, how about you? Any autograph sessions that you're planning on, or?
The only one I'd really want would be Shatner, but I know what he charges, so
Right.
it's like, other than
Is
that,
he supposed to be there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to be there. Might see him wandering around.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, I admire, this sounds weird, and I don't know how to say his last name. Does anyone know how to say that?
Magnolia?
Yeah.
Magnolia?
All right. That works. But he did an amazing thing for Star Trek by actually finishing the 5-year voyage in Star Trek Continues. And I know he went through a lot of stuff. I know he's still going through a lot of stuff, and he deserves to go through a lot of stuff. What he did, what they've claimed he's done is bad. He pulled out of Planet Con.
Mm-hmm.
I might have gone to get his autograph, but I did get it at NebCon. Don't know what I can do with it now. It's like, but what he did, what he's accused of is like a 10-year thing that was going on. But
what did he do? What did he get? What's the
Lots
accusation?
of sexual harassment.
Yeah,
Lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly with underage girls too.
Yes.
While cheating on his wife.
Yes.
Or
While cheating on his
fiance.
wife? I thought they just got married.
Fiance.
Didn't they just get married?
This was to a different girl.
Oh, he has a different wife?
Yeah, a different fiance.
Okay.
It's a whole thing.
So this is the guy you want to learn from?
No. I wanted his autograph before I found out how deep all this was, and I got it at NebCon. But the only other person I would want an autograph with was that I know is there would have been him, but he's not going, and now I don't want it because of all of the stuff that has now been surrounding him.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's
So-
a sad deal.
So to continue on, what are you looking forward to at the con? That,
I have no. I don't know. I have.
What's your
absolutely-
favorite thing when you go to a con? What do you like most?
I
Do you
take
like
pictures.
the panels?
I
Do you
like the costumes. I go around and I take like thousands of pictures.
The cosplay contest
Yeah,
is
they
going
will-
to be amazing. It's really well done.
Yeah, we went to Planet Comicon a few years ago, and we went to the cosplay contest, and it was so cool.
Maybe-
Like the costumes for this sort of event are going to be on an entirely different scale from Nebraska.
Oh, yeah.
Nebraska.
I bet your press pass will get you into the press area where you can video that.
Probably
hopefully we-
not.
No, I don't think
They
are
didn't
allowing
say
videos.
that.
Didn't
Press
say that there was a special,
Yeah.
but maybe
But
they might have an elevated area for.
NebCon doesn't say it. Ocon doesn't say it. But
Okay,
there
well-
it is. So
Thursday, 4:00 for Bill. How to make a blood pump.
A blood pump. Ooh, that could come in handy.
But yeah, like for the cosplay, Jessica Najiri's going to be there. Never know how to say it. Kamui Cosplay, who's written several books, and she's really does amazing work. Colin Hoffman, who does prop customs. There's just the Iron Brothers, who have made these amazing mech suits. They're just unbelievable.
I think they were at Ocon 3 years ago. So yeah, they are awesome. They really are.
Oh My Sophie will be there. Missy Mayhem. The 501st Legion, which is always fun. The Rebel Legion. The Mandalorian Merc's costume. Saber Guild. Like, there's just a lot of notable cosplayers and cosplay groups that are going to be there. The Midland Empire Ghostbusters. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see a lot of really good work.
I didn't know there was a Ghostbusters cosplay troupe.
Now you do.
Yeah,
Sweet.
yeah, it looks like they've got. I'm looking at the schedule right now, and it looks like a pretty good schedule for. Looks like
So
there's.
they did update the schedule on the website?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's updated, but it's definitely filled out.
Last time I looked, it wasn't there. So.
Oh well, yes, they have a schedule now, and it's looking. It looks pretty good. If you're
Excellent.
interested in cosplay, there's some stuff going on all the time for cosplay. I'm going to go to the Let's Geek Out About My Hero Academia on Thursday or Friday at 6.
What's kind of fun, too, that I know they started doing speed dating sessions. So that...
Don't need that anymore.
I know, but for the individuals out there who do, I've heard that was really well done. How they set up the speed dating, so it's like between panels... And they set up a schedule, and you go sign up, and then, nerds speed dating with other nerds. Maybe making that connection.
So.
Well, it makes it a lot easier then because you don't have to hide all of your, props and stuff
Until the third or fourth
right,
date.
Right.
Yeah, I guess you can't.
Sucker them in,
Right.
and then release the nerd.
Your cosplay can't be your dirty secret.
Right.
If you date at the con. Yeah,
Right.
But, all right, so.
Don't look in the lightsaber closet.
Yes.
It's just lightsabers.
I want a lightsaber closet now. I do. It's like, and I need a big one because I now have 7. But it's like.
I think you have I don't know if it's a problem or an addiction.
It's between.
Is there a 12-step program?
It's between problem and fetish. I'm not sure where it is.
Let's keep it a problem then.
Yeah.
It'd be funny.
It depends on what you wear as you're swinging the lightsaber.
Well, there's fetishes and then sexual fetishes. So it's like it's yeah.
I think what'd be funny is a little video. You've all seen those spy movies, right, where the spy goes to his house and he pushes a button, the bookcase rolls back, and he's got this room full of every kind of weapon you can imagine. Yes. You've got a nerd hits the same button, and it's all these lightsabers,
paraphernalia,
and batleth, and all this stuff.
Well, so what who's planning on cosplaying?
I am.
I have 3 days of cosplay.
I'm not.
What 3 days are you gonna do?
Lara Croft again on Friday. Our group cosplay will be Saturday with the Jedi, so I'll be Rey from Star Wars, and then I'm doing my sexy Mario on Sunday.
All right, so Jedi on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'll do Star Trek on Friday.
I was going to do Doctor Who on Friday.
What are you going to do Sunday?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I've got a fun hat that I
Maybe
wear.
something steampunk.
I was thinking of maybe my Full Metal Alchemist Colonel Mustang.
On Sunday?
Yeah.
I would definitely say, because this is such a large con, people have to really keep in mind footwear, because it's also cement floors. There's no carpeting whatsoever, and it's a long walk between panels, because Bartle Hall is massive. So if this is going to be our listeners' first con, you have to really think about, okay, what am I trying to achieve for look, but also by Sunday, I need to be able to walk.
I'll be gelling the entire weekend.
And
So,
keep in mind that seating will be at a premium. Like, if you don't get to a panel early, you're probably going to be standing through it if you're even going to be able to make it inside.
So that's one thing I liked about TeslaCon, which is a con that Charles, Bill, Audie, and I went to a few months ago. They had something called a tea room. You paid $15 extra, but basically you got it because there's always a seat. You can always just go in there and sit down. And that was kind of nice compared to most of the other cons.
And I mean, there's not like I mean, there's going to be refreshments. There's these tiki huts.
They have
throughout-
water, don't they? So that the people, the con crazies, can
The
drink
people
water,
in
right?
costumes don't die.
Yes, that. They do have water, but they also have tiki huts for day drinking.
Ooh.
Yes. And if you get
That's
the
an
cup and you
upgrade.
keep the hut, that you get reduced cost drinks to refill those cups. I have 2 cups I'm taking with me, back with me. I
Nice.
saved.
Well, I mean, I was thinking
Guess
about
what I'm doing?
survival fluids, not necessarily encouraging alcoholism, but it's
Sometimes
like, no, let's...
when you're in a room full of thousands of people, drinking a little
Takes
bit
the edge off.
is survival
And
fluids.
so while we're saying a room full of thousands of, let's say, sweaty nerds, shower.
Yes.
Very important.
Con funk is real.
Use
Con
deodorant.
funk is real. Yeah, but
Please,
no,
God.
use deodorant after a shower, not instead of a shower.
Right.
Because it doesn't work.
Cologne is not a replacement for showering either.
So here's a good intro into courtesies, like common con courtesies. Let's not run up and down the halls screaming after midnight.
Preach.
If you have elected to share a room with people, a bunch of people, because you're trying to cut costs, cons are expensive, bring an extra mirror, and so you can do your makeup and not hog the bathroom. It's worth carrying a couple of extra pounds to make sure that you're not hogging the resources of that room that you may be sharing with 1 to 3 other people. And also realize hotel room walls are thin.
And cosplay is not consent.
Yes.
Cosplay is not
Ask
consent.
before you take pictures.
Ask before you touch.
Yes.
If
Or
you
just
want
don't
to
touch
feel,
at
yeah,
all. No
If
touching.
you want to feel the fabric of a cosplay, in a non-sensitive area, ask before you touch. Which to you, obviously, your eyes are saying that shouldn't be necessary, but I've seen at cons that it is necessary.
And I think
Beyond between people who make their own costumes, yeah, sure, but you know that context.
And ask before you
Like, just
take
don't
pictures.
ask. If you're just like me, not there in a costume, you don't really have a good reason to
Well, yeah,
ask to
yeah.
touch someone for anything.
You haven't
It's
been touched by
creepy,
the
don't-
passion of cosplay yet, so
And I probably won't be.
you may not be. But it's like when I see someone's elaborate costume, I'm very curious about how they constructed it. But I always ask before I touch the Gundam suit. It's
Right.
like it's important. And don't take pictures because, especially at this con, I imagine there's a lot of professional cosplayers who brand themselves, and they don't
Well-
want your picture, or they'll charge you for their picture.
That's why you ask.
Yeah.
Like some will charge you. Like I think you,
You
guys
should ask
talked
because it's
about
a courtesy, but it's
Yes.
like at Planet Con, you're going to start seeing the professionals roll out, the ones that actually charge, and it's like, you're taking away from them. It's like, I don't know how I feel about cosplayers who charge, but a lot of these people put themselves in some serious debt to make the cosplay.
this. Yeah, I
they
mean,
do,
some
so
people pay
I
hundreds,
understand, I do.
thousands of dollars to make their costume, and
do.
the pictures, the prints, or how they fund that.
And that is cool. I do, but that's what they want, and that's what they get.
and that's not only men to women, but that's also women to men. I've seen a lot of girls scantily clad. They like a guy's cosplay, and they run up and they start like hugging on them and things like that, and the guys get a little overwhelmed. They're not sure what to do because their girlfriend may be standing right there. So because
So don't bring your girlfriend. Is that what you're saying?
well, depends on what type of girlfriend she is. So, and what her preferences are.
Right.
So I think it's both ways. No one should be touching anybody without consent.
Right.
Both directions.
Oh, yeah.
Don't be a creeper.
Yeah.
Don't be a creeper. That's it.
Don't be a creeper. Don't be a dick.
Shower.
Okay.
Shower.
So you're walking in the front door of Planet Comicon. Where are you going first?
The dealers.
Yes.
I won't lie. That's a lot of what I like cons for.
Me
is
too.
that dealer's room. There's
Yeah.
so many shiny things. The
But-
art, the
so,
toys.
Have you been to PlanetCon?
Yes.
And you've been to PlanetCon. What's the dealer room like? Because at
It's-
Ocon, it's wide At NebCon, it's narrow.
Oh,
Is
it's massive.
Is it easy to get through?
Oh,
or-
it's very easy to get through, and
Alright.
there are massive numbering systems that are in your because it'll tell you
Program.
what they try and categorize it. So they're like, if you want to go to the art section, there's the artist row. If you want to see more cosplay stuff, there's this row. If you want to see toys, like it's very much broken down, and it's a very high ceilinged room. It's basically an arena, the floor of an arena. So if it's very easy to get through, it's not cramped, which is wonderful, but it can be overwhelming.
So it's just like Ocon or Omaha Comicon, Ocon,
Bigger.
on steroids.
Yeah.
On steroids,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hulked out.
Sweet.
Like you might need a flare to find someone.
Yeah, I think the year we went to Planet Comicon, we came back with a lot of cool stuff. Lots of books. Lots of books.
Yeah, Linda and I went to Comic-Con in Madison, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Wizard World Comic-Con, and that
Okay.
was pretty big. And then, of course, we also went to Gallifrey 1 out in Los Angeles last year, which
Oh,
was
wow.
really big, too. So, yeah, it's you can get lost in the toy section.
Yep. And
Lost
This one will-
and
this one will make
bankrupt.
sense.
Yeah, right.
This toy section is more generalized because, like at NebCon, which is Nebraska anime Nebraska, the dealer room is almost anime to the point where there's nothing for people that
Yeah.
don't do anime. It's a very exclusive dealer
Yeah,
room.
this dealer's room, there will be something for everyone, and probably more than you were expecting to find. There will be comic books. There are dealers there who just bring boxes and boxes and boxes of graphic novels and comic books. There'll be authors there representing their own works, either not professionals, but like people from the major publishing houses and self-published authors. There'll be artists doing prints, drawings.
people
Posters.
selling props that you might need.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which is another great thing. They have a very large cosplay fix area.
There'll probably
Which
be a
is
few.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
there'll
cool.
probably be a few musicians selling their wares.
Mm-hmm.
Geek bands, they're a thing.
And when you said props, I just saw all my money go away.
So,
Yeah, just
I
like
can
little
see it right
angel
now.
wings out of your
Yeah.
pocket.
It's like I
Yeah.
can just see. I saw my
Shut
credit
up and
card.
take my money.
My credit card's gonna start being declined, please.
Well, I mean,
So,
Ultra
like, I'm
Sabers
just
is going to be there, so
So-
you're going to
Is it gonna be cheaper to buy an Ultra Saber?
probably not. Well, they might have a
you-
con special.
You
I don't
save
know.
the shipping, so I mean,
Yeah.
at least but
But yeah, the
They
year
might.
the year we were there, they had a nice big booth that was just like square with
Yes.
4 sides of lightsabers hanging down.
And all lit up, of course.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's our next pro tip. If to not get caught in the moment, really establish a budget for yourself. Take out the cash that you're going to need, because there are people there who, it's going to be a jump just to make it there. And now with all of this pressure,
here's my
wonderful
budget.
things.
take it all.
So, but those who
For those
Oh,
not watching, he
I
just
just-
tossed his entire wallet on the.
Yeah, just take it.
Thump.
And yes.
Somebody explain this concept of a budget to me. What
Yes.
does that
Right.
mean?
So, for those who have a budget, a good pro tip is leave your cards in your hotel room and just bring the cash that you're willing to spend. So that way you make good life choices that you don't come to regret later.
Good
For those
life
Or
choices.
that you get beaten by either your parents, your roommates because you can't make rent, or your significant other later.
No, I will have none of that. Your words are words. I know they're words. When you put them together in that sequence, it comes up murr. So I'm just gonna have to, gonna have to do. I see it in Bill's eyes too. Bill's seeing a lot of his money go away right now in his head because you're gonna find that steampunk thing. That
So-
thing. I don't know what it is. It's just it's a MacGuffin at this point, but you need it.
Steampunk exosuit. Bill just comes back
Oh,
wearing that.
that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
So then that comes to the other point. If you're wanting to splurge in the dealer's room and you're staying in a hotel, ask them if there's going to be a fridge, because it's really a good idea to bring a lot of your own food and snacks so you can save money at least in that area. Also, or case of water for the hotel room is a must. You'll thank me for it later. And if there is no fridge in your hotel room, you can always ask them if they can put one in there, or just bring an ice chest.
Yeah.
Just whatever you do. Also keep in mind, everyone's going to be probably checking in close within the same couple of hour period, or they're going to be checking out all at the same time. So make sure your stuff already has wheels on it, or that you bring a cart. If you have an easy cart that you can put your own luggage on, it's probably going to be more effective to get out of the hotel than to wait, because oftentimes those carts disappear first thing in the morning or that night when you're doing check-in.
Yeah, along the same lines, bring some Pop-Tarts or some breakfast bars, because you don't have time in the morning to get breakfast, but you
Yeah,
want to eat
'cause
something.
Or it's going to be like $10 to $15 a plate.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And there
And-
could be lines.
And you have to get to the con. You have to get there.
And so if you're not staying within a walking radius to the con location, take into account parking. Are you really, if you find the sweet spot, are you going to want to leave that spot to go get food somewhere else because you don't want to pay for it at the con location? Like, what's good is the food is not that terrible in terms of price. And Casey, in the hall itself, I've seen way worse, and you get a lot of food for the cost. But if you want to splurge more on other things, that autograph, that dealer's room, the prop you've been wanting, then really planning out your food situation so you can bring your own stuff is a good call.
And it's like a lot of this keeps going back to, yes, drink, yes, eat, yes, shower, do basic human things. And it's like, this sounds like we shouldn't have to say this, but all of us, I think, have enough con experience to know
Yeah.
in fact, how long do you think until the Confunk shows up at,
You'll be lucky if you go 10 minutes.
yeah, it's like the Confunk at NebCon
getting
3
there.
years ago actually started 3 hours before the con, which means people drove there without showering for days. And it's like, I was impressed and disgusted, but impressed. But it's like, you'd think that we wouldn't have to say this to budding con people who might want to go to the cons, but it's like, yes, do these things.
You have time for a 15-minute shower.
You do. Or
You soap.
even a 5-minute shower would be
Just wash it
better,
off.
yeah. But yeah.
But also, again,
This is a problem. You guys are
It's a
laughing.
problem. You're
but-
laughing, but this is real. Now, Katie knows. Linda should know. I mean,
But that's
You'll
a
well,
common.
You'll be
And here's-
walking, minding your own business, and then you will be choking because one dude
Yes.
walked past.
Yeah.
Well, and here's the other thing to think about. If you have a cosplay that you've worn at previous cosplays and sweated in, you might want to get that cleaned before you go
oh, yes.
to the next
oh, yes,
con.
I always do. Every
But
time.
that's a common problem. I mean, that's a common problem among actors. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you've ever been to a backstage because their costumes are
Well,
Yeah,
there's
never
not
sweat
whether
clean.
in it.
dry clean
So-
only
It's
or
hot
whatever it
under
is.
those lights.
going to our next courtesy, because we should all be showering, but a lot of people are going to have roommates that they're sharing rooms with. Again, make a plan how you're going to be quick in and out of the bathroom, and have what you need, maybe a different mirror, maybe your own stuff off to the side, so that you can get ready without hogging that space. It's just the cons seem to either break or make friendships, and it would really suck for people going to the first con to have that kind of, or just any con, to have that conflict with their friends because somebody hogged the bathroom blow dryer for an hour and made everyone else late for the panel they all wanted to see.
You're going to have to drive back with these people in a car that's stuffed to the top with lightsabers. Yes.
Yes, audience members.
So just on the issue of, we mentioned like perfume and cologne before. Be aware that there are some people who would have like allergic reactions to it or asthma. And if you're in a confined space with these people, they are going to have to leave and miss,
Some stuff.
miss
Right.
some stuff. So just,
'Cause I think
just
we've
don't,
all-
don't do it.
Yeah, I think we've all been in an area where somebody's worn cologne or perfume that's been. I know somebody that tends to do this. They bathe in it practically, and then it is just so overpowering. You can smell it rooms away, and it's like, yeah,
And again, cologne is not a substitute for a shower.
no.
So be that
Nor a
honest
good
friend
idea
too.
in this
If,
situation.
Yeah.
just for that reason, to help make someone else more comfortable if they do have allergies, just be the friend. If your friend seems maybe no one has ever taken the time to have that conversation with them about personal hygiene. So be the friend to help them in a kind, respectful way to be like, hey, maybe you should look at revising your personal hygiene.
Yeah.
Or, just be that friend who tells it like it is and is like, man, you drive people away. Like, you've got a 10-foot radius around you right now for a reason.
So it's
Or be the kind of friend that waits until you're on a podcast before talking to John about this.
How did I become the designated asshole?
Isn't that your new title for the show?
No, voice of doom. There's difference.
I like designated asshole, though. I think that's it.
Well, now here's a question, a good question. So you're going to the con, you're in cosplay, you find a lot of stuff that you like, that you want to pick up. What do you put it in? Do you just buy one piece, run it out to your car, then come back, then find another piece? Or do you carry some sort of a satchel or a bag? Or how do you get your...
I think that depends on if you're cosplaying or not, and what your what your plan is for the day.
Well, Bill, this is what servants are for, of course.
The hireling.
John,
The minion.
you're my servant.
No. I'm just going to go... I'll take no for 1,000, Alex, on that one.
You will carry my stuff at the con.
Well, I mean,
I'm using the force
You're
on
just,
it.
you're just a lame gray Jedi. You can't do anything.
quite a
It's like-
few dealers will actually hold things for you. Like, either till the end of the day or the end of the con, but then it's on
I think
you.
their arms would get tired by the end of the day holding all that stuff.
You made it so far. You did so far without a bad pun. And I was getting so proud of you. And now you just threw that all away. So
But-
damn you, Bill.
But it's then on you to make sure to pick up your thing that you've left with the dealer, because they will not wait for you on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, save the big awkward things for either your lunch break to the hotel or the car or the end of the day, because also it's not fair for you to have a whole bunch of stuff taking up a seat and a panel,
Yeah.
or making it awkward for people to sit in a panel, because you had to have that big new set of mech wings right now.
Yeah.
Wait, mech wings?
There's mech wings.
Like, there are all kinds of
Do
props.
you want mech wings, sir?
I just want a mech, but
He wants one of everything,
yeah,
as we all do.
make me one with everything.
Unfortunately, everything's going to be there. So we have...
I know.
I'm excited.
Mostly I'm just getting my lightsaber. That's probably get some other things, but the lightsaber is what I've been saving up for.
Yeah, what I like about Planet Comicon is generally people are it's a good crowd. People are nice. People are generally respectful. They give you space, and they space the con. Again, please don't prove me wrong by changing something. They space the con so it's easy to maneuver without everyone being on top of each other. People tend to keep their cool. They're nice, and that's what makes it such a pleasant experience.
And there's
Is-
cocktails.
Is this the same hotel that they've used before?
Yes.
So
it's
they
the
should
same
have
hotel.
this down. They should.
No, well, the hotel is a different situation than the convention center, which is across the street.
Is it the same convention zone?
It's always the same convention, but they have changed it. Like, one year was definitely more organized than the following year. It was a lot easier to navigate. I mean, there's pros and cons, and you can tell they're trying to make it better every year. Sometimes they're going to be successful with some things, and maybe it's not quite. But with, like you said, it's the 20th anniversary, and they've probably learned enough lessons that it's going to be fantastic. It's a good con to start with, I think.
Have we scared away the people though that might have been interested in cons by talking
Telling them
about
to bathe.
Yeah, but and telling them to expect people not to, and
I don't think so.
For
hope
those who maybe don't realize it or have as much background, it's just a joke on the internet that comes up a lot, and
but
it's worth
real.
addressing,
But it is real.
but it's minuscule.
Yeah.
Because people pass out all the time because they forget to drink, they forget to eat.
I don't care if they pass out. I just
You
care if
don't
they're
care.
standing next to me in line and they smell like, they haven't bathed in a year.
Yeah, but
The
now we
asshole
are
Dagobah.
bordering. But
Yeah.
now we are bordering at the point of making it a bigger deal than it actually is, because
Yeah.
it's not. Yeah, you might pass 5 people in a day, and there's going to be thousands there.
Right.
Like the last time I went, doesn't stand out to me at all.
Cool.
There might have been one or
Cool.
two people.
And that's important. Now it's like in some cons you can't minimize it, and some cons it's going to happen. It's just, in fact, you can start making bets on it. You don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. It always happens at NebCon. Every time.
But it's also
But-
a small enclosed space
And
with a low ceiling
Ramada?
compared to Bartle Hall.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, well, compared to that. But
In comparison to the problem, though, you will see cosplays the quality of which will amaze you, and there will be programming that it will entertain, and your bank account will take a gut punch from the fantastic dealer's room.
Yeah. So if you haven't done your taxes, do them now so you can get that refund maybe in the next 2 weeks by that time.
Right.
If you're getting a refund because they reworked the tax law.
Da-da-da-da-da,
So yeah,
I'm excited.
Everyone should be excited. It's not. We're gonna make fun of some things, but it's not the big issue that it may come across in this podcast.
And we got a press pass for there. So our next podcast, after we get back, we'll be showing some interviews that we'll do with some of the cosplayers there. Hopefully, we'll show some of the cosplay contest as well. So, even if we don't get into a special press area, are we allowed to video the cosplay competition? we can find out when we get there. I think
I mean,
so.
there are going to be people who take pictures no matter what.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, but at Ocon and at NebCon, they actually have an area for people to video.
I don't think they set up a specific area unless you're professional and aligned with them. 'Cause-
Well, that press pass is kind of for professionals that are aligned with them. aren't
But no, the press pass doesn't give you automatic photograph.
Yeah, I think what
access.
she's saying is that if Planet Comicon had hired a crew to record it for them, they would have probably elevated recording
Yeah.
positions. But anybody else that's coming there on a press pass is just get your best spot. And
Yeah,
good luck.
they aren't going to give us any special treatment for it from what
No.
I was reading.
Yeah,
they? Okay.
that's what it sounds like. So.
We'll just get a press badge that might encourage more people to let us take their picture.
Like you don't
Right.
even get to go ahead of a line to enter the
No.
room.
Oh, that's
So,
cool.
But
That was
the
nice, though.
the
That-
legitimacy
that was
thing
fun.
is important because I think there are some people who get tired of getting asked to take their picture and like, are you really asking because you're interested for whatever it is that like publication because you're an actual photographer, or are you just going to use this for personal reasons later?
Right.
What personal reasons?
He's talking X-rated personal reasons
Oh,
in your
well-
privacy of your hotel room.
Oh, you mean, okay, that's nasty. But yeah,
Well,
But that is a thing.
I imagine
Sure.
it is. I imagine you are correct.
So press pass just gives you that little bit more legitimacy, I think,
Yeah.
that you're interviewing people because you have a legitimate
So
reason, a podcast
people are
or
going
something.
to cosplay that scantily.
Of course.
Well, no,
yeah.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
don't, they don't do that at Ocon or NebCon.
It's a whole.
There
This
were
is
a few at
this is
NebCon.
the professional
Not
realm.
that-
So,
There's some that are risque, but we're talking.
and there are going to be people who are not professionals who are going to be
Yeah.
risque.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the full. It's going to be the full spectrum of a big city con with the celebrities, with the everything, the amateurs and the noobs, and the people who are just going out to try something different.
So yeah, but this is a good. I think Planet Comicon is a good balance between like the big con and the small con, in that San Francisco Comic-Con is a completely different beast aside from this.
Even
Okay.
Dallas Comic Con,
Yeah.
like you look at their celebrity list, it's ungodly real.
Well, not just the celebrity list, but the so for like San Francisco Comic Con, if you want, you will get to do maybe like one thing
Well, it's like
in a day. Choose what you want to do. Do you want to go to this booth? Then get in line. You're going to be in that line for 5 hours.
We had Josh Cato, cosplayer, kind of one of the more famous cosplayers in the region, on the show, and he went to San Diego Comic Con, and he said exactly what you're saying. It's like to get from where I'm sitting to the end of this wall will take hours. It's like you get to choose one thing to do. It's ridiculous. And he said, if I had to do it again, I wouldn't. And it's like, so I'm just gonna say no.
But for
that doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, for Planet Comic-Con, if you want to go to a panel, you're probably going to be able to get into that panel. If you have a seat or not, that's another issue. if you want to go to this dealer or get this autograph, you're going to be able to get as many autographs as you want, or as many as you can pay for.
So the way he described it, and the way you're describing these major cons, that doesn't sound like fun. That sounds like a pain in the butt.
It doesn't sound like fun, but people still have fun and go to these things. So
That's great. But
I mean,
And that's where it seems kind of maybe too OCD for some, but really looking at who do I want to see, what panels do I want to go to, what are my priorities going into a con. So one, I'm not overwhelmed. Two, the group that you may be traveling with is on the same page. Maybe you all just need to break up and you need to be comfortable going by yourself to a panel instead of being pissed off because Sally had to go see this other person and stand in line 4 hours for an autograph. Like, you have to be all on the same page, especially if you're going as a group, because I'm probably going to know at least 30 to 40 people going to this from Omaha. It's going to be a caravan. And I've seen it. I've seen people staying in the same room, traveling together. They're not on the same page, and there's conflict, and people's feelings get hurt, and it's not ideal. So, like, being direct and upfront before you all even get in the car, what are we going to be doing?
We haven't done that.
Have a plan.
We haven't decided. I mean, what is our interaction going to be?
I think we should talk about that at lunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I dig, but it's like
lunch.
My Just Another Nerd Thing Facebook page. It seems like everybody's going. It's like, is anyone going to be in Omaha? I mean, it's just
We're
like
only going if I-29 opens up.
Like,
I think
That is a problem.
I think it'll be open in 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, it should be.
Yeah, because it's a major. It's not just for Comic-Con, for commerce. It's like that's a major commerce line.
So as we are recording this, Nebraska, Iowa, and all along the Missouri River has had some historic and tragic flooding. So that's what we're talking about, just for context.
Yeah.
Yeah. Currently, Ubers are rowboats, and I hear they have fantastic water snacks. You know.
What's a water snack?
Catfish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet.
Missouri River catfish.
Now, other than Planet Comicon, what other cons are we looking forward to?
And con can cover a broad spectrum of things. Like, there's the Ren Fair. I would call it a con because it's people with common interest, and that's going to be at the Bellevue Berry Farm in May, which is always a lot of fun.
I have never been, but you kind of talked me into that because of how you've been describing it. I'm going to go in Star Trek uniform.
There are actually some great dealers. They also have a lovely pub area for day drinking. What's great about the Bellevue Berry Farm, it's a family group. I mean, they're really nice people. I used to sell mead for Pirate Fest when I first moved back to Nebraska about 5-6 years ago. Nice people. It's a family. And what's so amazing is all these wooden structures, they built that initially just because the family loves it. Like, they love having this cool, massive pirate ship, these tree houses, it's something they've always done together. Like, it's for the love of the craft and the community. And they have a lot of options. It's a great little place. And if you love supporting local business, look at the Bellevue Berry Farm. Check it out. It's a nice little escape in the middle of Omaha that maybe not many people may be aware of. Because not only do they do the Ren Fair in May, but they do the Pirate Fest either late August or sometime September. It seems to transition a little bit. And that's a lot of fun.
We've been to both those. They are a lot of fun. A lot of
Coming
different
up,
vendors there.
Coming up next for me at the end of April, April 26th through the 28th, is Constellation, which is in Lincoln, Nebraska. And that is a fantastic smaller convention, probably a few hundred.
Should it have an Ozfest feel to it?
It does have an Ozfest feel. It's a very much more content-centric convention. Lots more panels. Focusing on panels, just like nerds getting together talking about things.
I've been thinking about doing that.
It is a lot of fun. I've been going to it, goodness, almost a decade now, probably. Like I said,
think we already got tickets, didn't we?
They've got they'll have an author guest and an artist guest. They've got a great art show. Go to at Constellation. Definitely go to the auction on Saturday night because there's shenanigans there every year that's worth seeing. But yeah, it's a great local convention. You've got local artists who show up, local authors. The Nebraska Writers Guild, which I'm a part of, is going to have a bit of a writing track there this year, which I'll probably end up being a part of if they want me. But yeah,
Is that a shout out?
What?
Constellation Seth is available.
Yeah, I'll actually talk to my contacts in the NWG later on. So.
Well, apparently people listen to us. Bill says we have an author that wants to be on our show. So.
Well, I don't know if he knows he wants to be on our show. I think he paid for a promotional packet, and the PR group just went out and blitzkrieged any sci-fi podcast on the planet.
Yeah, that's the way it looked to me. If we want authors on the show, I know some people, and we can talk about that at lunch too.
Nice.
So another really good con is the Maker Fair in Kansas City. Or I've heard it's really good. I have not gone yet, but it's something I really would like to do at some point. It's June 22nd through the 23rd. And basically, it's people who enjoy learning and love sharing what they can do, engineers to artists, scientists, and crafters. It's makers to show hobbies, experiments, and projects because they want to showcase invention, creativity, and resourcefulness. So
and where's that?
This is Kansas City as well, June 22nd through the 23rd. And it's people who are maybe interested in steampunk or just want to learn how to do interesting things that they never thought of before. It sounds like a really interesting showcase.
Yeah, it does.
That
I would like that.
sounds like it's tailored for you, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like that kind of.
Yeah. So May 24th to the 26th is Conquest, which is another sci-fi con with an Ozfest feel. Where's
that one at?
That is in Kansas City as well. And this is actually Conquest's 50th year, so it should be a really good one. They are bigger than Ozfest was, so the Omaha Science Fiction Festival, which sadly is no longer a
8
thing.
years and then gone. And it's my first con. It's always going to be my favorite con.
But
because I have memories of that con. And it's like, yeah.
The Conquest is in the Sheraton Hotel in Crown Center in Kansas City, and they have a lot of good programming, some really good guests. They take out like a whole floor, like the whole like basement gathering area for the game room, which hosts has to be like two to 3 dozen simultaneous games of not Warcraft, but Warhammer 40K. And that's just like half of the area there. The rest of it's for gaming, miniature painting. There's so much going on at Conquest. It is Katie and I's favorite con, I think, hands down.
So let's not forget Comicon, of course.
Of course.
Of course. I'm trying to pull up the days. What was the days of that
Well,
again?
it's just Ocon now, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Thanks to San Diego Comic-Con's lawsuit.
Yep, it's June 28th, 29th, and 30th at the Mid-America Center. That is a really good introductory baby con. It's also
it is.
a good con for people in cosplay to experiment with their new cosplay to see
Yes.
how effective or maybe where they need to tailor or improve certain areas before they go to the big con with it, especially piloting footwear.
And Galactic Driftwood will be in the house for that.
Yes, we will. We got our
I
own booth there.
I'll be doing a panel on how Orville is the Star Trek of the new millennium.
I would like that.
It hit me, and it's like, damn, that's perfect. So
I'd be on that panel if you wanted to talk about it.
I may allow that.
You may allow
I
that.
may allow that.
Am I not good enough for your panel?
I don't know what you would say. I don't.
Probably just agree with you.
Oh,
I mean,
Okay, you can work that out at lunch.
yeah, we can. There's always room for people who agree with me. It's like, so Linda won't be there. But, yeah, it's all good.
So I actually know a couple too who got married there. So
oh yeah.
yes, it is a very friendly, positive environment for a lot of people who are just wanting to dip their toes in the water, who maybe have a nerd side that they have yet to really engage for whatever reason, and to just come out and bring family. It's a family-friendly environment, and they have some great panels, and they do good work.
And also, if you've never been to a con before, and this is going to be your first time there, maybe you don't know anything about cosplay.
Yeah.
What percentage of the people that attend these cons are in cosplay versus those that aren't?
I think it depends.
I think Ocon, it's like actually most of the people. I would say 50. It's 50-50, but slightly. It depends on the day. It's like Friday it starts, and especially Sunday, people don't want to get all gussied up for that.
I think
Yeah.
it's hard to tell because
I do, but
the people in cosplay obviously stand out and overshadow the people who aren't in it.
it's perfectly fine not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely fine. You're not required to. And there are people who just wear costumes who aren't actually cosplaying,
Yeah.
where we've had that discussion of, are you cosplaying and you are embodying the character, or are you putting on a costume because it feels awesome, you look awesome, and it's just fun. It's fun to wear something different
Mm-hmm.
going out.
Yeah, so Conquest and Constellation are not costume-centric cons. There will still be people who are cosplaying or in costume, but not to the extent of Planet Comicon, Ocon, or Nebrascon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Nebraska, we didn't bring that up.
Well, that's out in November, though. So
Yeah. Well, I mean.
Is it? I thought they were changing the date or something.
I don't think so, but could be wrong. Anyway, moving on.
So yeah, the cosplay thing is definitely it depends on the con, it depends on the day, it depends on the state of everyone, because by Sunday you are worn out.
Yeah.
Um,
And I know the first couple of cons Linda and I went to, we didn't do any cosplay at all. And we actually ended up getting our start into cosplay by going to a couple panels on how to get into steampunk. And they told you how to look at what you have in your closet already, as a lot of that stuff could double as steampunk stuff. And that's kind of how we got our start in the whole thing, and it just kind of exploded from there. So if you don't currently have a cosplay, even if you don't think it's something you want to do, come to the con. Maybe you'll attend a panel and find out, hey, maybe this is something I want to do. Or maybe not. Maybe you just want to go to the vendor's room and go see panels on other things. So it's pretty much open to whatever trips your trigger.
Yep. Because like Aaron, my boyfriend, he's not going to dress up at all. He's not interested.
Oh, wait a minute. Audie came up with the greatest cosplay idea for him of all time.
I know. I don't think he's actually going to dress up as Stephen Colbert, though, because in his mind, he wouldn't be able to fully embody the actual character. So if he can't pull off the character, he doesn't want to do it. It's the level.
I admire his professionalism about it.
Right. So I mean, he's not going to wear anything, and he's going to unfortunately be.
He's not going to wear anything?
He should wear.
This could be a whole different con than what I was expecting.
Okay, fair enough. He's not going to be wearing any type of costumes.
Okay.
And he's going to have to put up with me.
In
Being
costume.
full out.
Good.
Cosplay, so.
Good.
Full out Jenna.
No, then I'm only wearing. I'm going to full out Lara Croft, full out Ray, full out sexy Mario.
So what are you wearing?
So you're just going to be going around jumping on Goombas then?
Yes.
So when you do your cosplay, you really do cosplay. You adopt the mannerisms and stuff of the character.
I try to, especially
Yeah.
if they want to do pictures and stuff. I don't just try and be a person posing. I try to be
That character.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's worth attempting, and it's just fun to be that way.
Yeah.
So Aaron and us by extension are going to have to deal with whatever your Italian accent is all of Sunday.
Give us a little taste of that. A little bit of the Italian. Just throw that down.
You're
for us.
putting that on the spot. I can't.
It's hard to
but
do
the
things like that on the
The con's
spot.
going to put you on the spot. People
But
No, you got.
But the con is different because I could sit there and I could listen to 30 minutes of terrible Italian accents before I walk in there, and it's just
Yeah.
picked up.
But you just have to seen it. It's like, hey Goomba, what you messing with me for?
And that's why I wasn't going to do it on the spot.
Right. John may want to polish his character
If I
a
want
little
your
bit first.
opinion, I'll give it to you. Hey.
Huh. Well, all right then.
Well, what are you going to wear?
Well, at Planet Comicon. So Friday night, I will be the War Doctor from Doctor Who. Saturday, I'm going to be my Jedi cosplay. And I don't know about Sunday yet. Don't know. Maybe Sunday will just be a casual day for me.
What about your wife?
I'm not going to cosplay my wife. No.
You should not.
I've tried that. The clothes don't fit.
But should your wife choose to cosplay, what will she wear?
Oh, well, I would imagine
Should we ask
if I had
her
to
since
guess.
she's in the audience?
Well, let me guess first. I would say Friday night she will probably do something from Doctor Who. And then Saturday, of course, she also has a Jedi cosplay, so she'll be doing the Jedi with me. And then Sunday, we don't know. Sunday, she says jeans.
Jeans and memory foam shoes.
I will say that the gels are the best thing I ever bought in my whole life for cons because it changed my entire foot situation.
Gel sole inserts.
Yes.
Gotta get us some of those.
Get those. They are, yeah. It's like, because especially my Star Trek boots just are agony after about an hour. But now I put those gels in and it's just fine. So,
Right.
yeah, for any
Makes a
future
difference.
budding cosplayers, yeah, gels are an investment that's worth the money.
Right.
And then the dead air happened.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
we're,
everyone was sad.
I think we're about out of time. Do we have any last comments or questions from folks?
The big thing, first and foremost, be kind to each other. I mean, someone may be doing this for the first time, having their first con and feeling shy, or maybe they bought their costume online because they didn't know what to do, or just bought it something that was bought out from a Halloween city or a Nobby's. Like, they're putting their feet in the water maybe for the first
Yes.
time. So be kind. Don't be judgmental. Be supportive of each other, whatever level that they're engaging in the con. And let's make it a great experience for
Yes.
everyone.
I mean, because like Bill's War Doctor is so spot on that at Gallifrey 1, which is a Doctor Who convention, they thought he was John Hurt.
From the
And
back.
it's like, but it's like, dude, it's spot on. That's a professional level cosplay.
Although I
And-
don't know if that was a compliment because he was like 90 and I'm only 60. So maybe that's not such a good thing.
Well, it's
But-
there's a lot of people who are going to be in cosplay of not high quality. And it's like, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's
No.
like, I love taking pictures of those people because they have, you can see it in their eyes. They're like having a blast. And it's like,
Yeah.
then I asked them if I could take the picture. And they're like, yes. And it's like, they're so happy. And it's like,
Right.
but it's like, if you ever go to my Just Another Nerd page and look at the albums, I do all con albums in there. It's like, and it's most of them are people with, you can tell they're like new or they're putting it together. It's a first iteration and they're happy. It's like, just let people be happy. Make people happy. They'll make you happy. Just have a good time. Jenna's right. It's like, don't be a douchebag.
And don't be careful how you interpret maybe someone's approach, because it could just be that they're super shy and they're trying to get to be better and to engage people more. Give everyone the benefit of the doubt, I would say. If something seems kind of awkward, or just ask, what did you mean by that? I mean, because you just see a lot of, I think, people making assumptions about the intention of a statement or an action, and there's just a lot of people. It's a very vibrant, intense environment, and all of us, I think, have either said or done things you didn't mean for it to come out one way and it did another. So I think by giving everyone a benefit of the doubt, being kind, it just makes the whole con better for everybody.
Well, and I think everybody's there because this is the stuff they love.
Right, but
Right.
there's also sometimes a sense of competition even,
Mm,
or
sure.
judgment of if somebody is going to be taking pictures of you because you have a better cosplay, then it's less for me. And I think there's enough to go around. There's enough environment and enjoyment for everything to go around, No one needs to be trying to top the other. We just need to just support each other.
Creators get very attached to their work.
Yeah.
And there will be a lot of creators at any convention.
But there's also, I mean, and it's not just creative. It's about not body shaming and not shaming anyone because maybe they didn't do it the way you would have done it. Maybe you're pissed off because they did the movie version and not the comic book version, so it's not as legitimate.
There's a lot of that. The Harley Quinns were fighting amongst each other like a year ago at Ocon because they were fighting about which version was the right version, and it's like, what does it matter?
And is it because of the right version,
great
or is
hammering happened?
I would have actually maybe paid money to see that.
Oh, that would be so fun.
That would have been a great charity event right there.
Oh, God, YouTube
hammering.
gold.
Just watching a whole room full of Harley Quinns whack each other with foam hammers.
Although now all I can hear in my head is just like 200 Harleys going, Mr. J.
Yeah, my head hurts now. Thank you.
My pleasure.
You bet. Thank you. You're so good to me.
All right. Well, I think that's a show. Look for us next time when we'll have some recap and video from
Lots of
Planet
new goodies
Comicon.
for the table.
Shenanigans.
Maybe some new stuff.
Yeah,
We'll show
we
our
should, it'll be
acquisitions.
Yeah, maybe we should do that next time. Is just like take everything off and it's just the con swag.
Yeah.
Piles of con swag or spoils. Yeah, it's the con swag.
As
is
the
good,
table tips and then breaks.
Right. Somebody gets a life-size TARDIS, we're going to have a little issue there with getting it in here. But
He says someone, but we all know who he's talking about.
Right.
Right. All right. Well, thank you all for watching, and we will see you next time on Galactic Driftwood. I'm Bill.
I'm Jenna.
Charles.
John.
And I'm Seth. Remember to like and subscribe. Definitely remember that we kind of count on you guys to spread the word. So if you've got someone who's going to a con, maybe share this episode with them. If you found this helpful, leave a comment. If we got anything wrong or need any more tips, remember to comment on YouTube and or iTunes. All that helps us out.
And we are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so look us up.
Look us up. Follow us. Send us a note.
Thanks for listening, y'all. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Galactic Driftwood podcast. For more information and past episodes, please visit our website at galacticdriftwood.space or subscribe to us on YouTube. And now, please deactivate your cranial downlinks, collect your towels, and be sure to watch your step as you exit our gravity well.